Hello students, today we are going to talk about the 10 managerial roles that a manager has to play, and these roles were identified by the Henry Mintzberg, who is a management expert, author and academic. He's written various books on management and now holds the Cleghorn Professorship of Management Sciences at McGill University in Canada. Henry Mintzberg recommends breaking down management roles and responsibilities and organizing the workplace to simplify complex concepts of management. Mintzberg believes that skills are learned through experience and cannot simply be taught in the classroom. You can teach all sorts of things that can improve the practice of management with people who are managers. What you cannot do is teach management to somebody who's not a manager. It's just like that. You cannot teach surgery to somebody who's not a surgeon. Mintzberg recommended breaking down or boiling down management roles and responsibilities and organizing the workplace to simplify complex concepts. This helps to organize companies into more efficient culture, and it allows each member to develop their own skills. Mintzberg management roles. Henry Mintzberg recorded in his famous book published in 1990 what roles played by managers during their working hours, and came to the conclusion that there was a gap between theory and practice. He found that the manager's work was characterized by pace, interruptions, brevity, and a fragmentation of activities. The managers liked talking to people. They spent much of their time in contact with others and meetings and in networks. Mintzberg identified 10 roles that described the variety of management's work. He grouped those 10 roles into 3 clusters. These 3 managerial roles are divided into 3 categories. The first category of interpersonal role arises directly from the manager's position and the formal authority bestowed upon him. The second category of informational roles is played as a direct result of interpersonal roles, and these 2 categories in combination lead to the third category of decisional roles. So let's first talk about interpersonal roles. Managers spend a considerable amount of time in interacting with other people, both within their own organizations as well as outside. These people include peers, subordinates, superiors, suppliers, customers, government officials, and community leaders. All these interactions require an understanding of interpersonal relationship. Studies have shown that interacting with people takes up nearly 80% of a manager's time. These interactions involve the following 3 major interpersonal roles: figurehead, leader, and liaison. So let's talk about figurehead. Managers act as symbolic figureheads, performing social or legal obligations. These duties include greeting visitors, signing legal documents, taking important customers to lunch, attending a subordinate's wedding, or speaking at functions in schools or churches perhaps. All these primarily are duties of a ceremonial nature, but are important for the smooth functioning of the organization. Leader. The influence of the manager is most clearly seen in his role as a leader of the unit or organization, since he is responsible for the activities of his subordinates. He must lead and coordinate their activities in meeting task-related goals, and he must motivate them to perform better. He must be an exemplary leader so that his subordinates follow his directions and guidelines with respect and dedication. The third point was liaison. In addition to this constant contact with their own subordinates, peers, and superiors, the managers must maintain a network of outside contacts in order to assess the external environment of competition, social changes, or changes in governmental rules, regulations, and laws. In this role, the managers build up their own external information system. In addition, they develop networks of mutual obligations with other managers in the organization. They also form alliances to win support for their proposals or decisions. The liaison with external sources of information can be developed by attending meetings or professional conferences, by personal phone calls, trade journals, and by informal personal contacts within outside agencies. Informational roles. By virtue of his interpersonal roles, a manager emerges as a source of information about a variety of issues concerning the organization. In this capacity of information processing, a manager executes the following three roles. Number one, monitor. The managers are constantly monitoring and scanning their environment, both internal and external, collecting and studying information regarding their organization and the outside environment affecting their organization. This can be done by reading reports and periodicals, by asking their liaison contacts, and through gossip, hearsay, and speculation. Disseminator of information. The managers must transmit the information regarding changes in policies or other matters to their subordinates, their peers, and to other members of the organization. This can be done through memorandums, phone calls, individual meetings, and group meetings. And the next is spokesperson. A manager has to be a spokesperson for his unit, and he represents his unit in either sending relevant information to the people outside his unit or making some demands on the behalf of his unit. This may be in the form of the president of the company making a speech to a lobby on behalf of an organizational cause, or suppose an engineer suggesting a product modification to a supplier. The next category is decisional roles. On the basis of the environmental information received, a manager must make decisions and solve organizational problems. In that respect, a manager plays four important roles. The first is entrepreneur. As entrepreneurs, managers are continuously involved in improving their units and facing the dynamic technological changes. They're constantly on the lookout for new ideas for product improvement or product addition. They initiate feasibility studies, arrange for capital for new products if necessary, and ask for suggestions from the employees for ways to improve the working of the organization. This can be achieved through suggestion boxes, holding strategy meetings with project managers and R&D personnel. The next one is disturbance handler. The managers are constantly involved as arbitrators in solving differences among the subordinates or the employees' conflict with the central management. These conflicts may arise due to demands for, say, higher pay or other benefits, or these conflicts may involve outside forces such as vendors increasing their prices, or unwanted visits or the inspection visits by the governmental inspectors. Managers must anticipate such disturbances and take preventive action if possible, or take corrective action once the problem has arisen. In his managerial role as disturbance handler, the manager will always immediately and efficiently respond to unexpected events and operational breakdowns. Resource allocator. The third decisional role of a manager is that of a resource allocator. The manager must establish priorities among various projects or programs and make budgetary allocations to the different activities of the organization based on these priorities. They assign personnel to jobs, they allocate their own time to different activities, and they allocate funds for new equipment, advertising, and pay raises. The last decisional role of a manager is negotiator. The managers, in fact, represent their units or organizations in negotiating deals and agreements within and outside of the organization. They negotiate contracts with the unions, which happens within the organization. Sales manager may negotiate prices with the prime customers. Purchasing managers may negotiate prices with vendors. All these 10 roles are important in a manager's job and are interrelated, even though some roles may be more influential than others, depending upon the managerial position. For example, sales manager may give more importance to the interpersonal roles, while the production managers may give more importance to the decisional roles. The ability to recognize the appropriate role to play in each situation and the flexibility to change roles readily when necessary are characteristics of effective managers. Most often, however, the managerial effectiveness is determined by how well the decisional roles are performed. I hope this short summary of 10 managerial roles identified by Henry Mintzberg are definitely going to help you out in completing the learning activity 2.2. Thank you very much.